welcome to another episode of Talk of Opportunity podcast live here on Sundays, every other Sunday, as we usually do. With me, as always, Andrew. He's dying at the moment, but he doesn't have to worry about today's episode because it's my turn to talk about something I like.
I need cyber bells.
With your constitution, I think cyberpsychosis is too much of a problem for you.
At this point, I'll take it. I don't care. What am I going to lose if I slip into cyberpsychosis?
That'll be another episode. Talk Opportunity. This is a podcast all about RPGs, tabletop board games, and things that we like to talk about. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure to follow us on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all the social medias. Also, make sure to like and comment or whatever you're listening to this podcast, and leave us a comment below. See what you think of what we're going to talk about today.
Wait,
is very nebulous thing that
wait,
I haven't mentioned at all.
Wait, are we done already? Did I black out for 2 hours? What happened?
No, remember we talked about this, Andrew. I'm trying to do the little key things. Jesus, man. Engagement, okay? We need engagement.
No, I have commitment issues. What if? Why don't we just take things slow? Like we just move in and just see how it feels for the first.
It's been 3 years, Andrew. But with that, let's play that music.
So after that brutal assault by the Orc warrior, the initiative now goes to you. Jose, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast
books, and then be the last one in the garbage. Have the Lancer Cyberpunk Red book on top of it.
or have it cut so it shows the books, but then we try to match the angle on a different day, on a different table, different lighting. It's like a new book on top.
It's completely different tablecloth and everything. Very obviously different.
Yeah.
Instead of pouring a beer, it's like a Gatorade or White or something.
Yeah, making a tea.
Just now you want it. No, you see, you're oversteeping it. Here's this.
Oh, sorry guys. We're talking about how to improve our bumper because we made that one 3 years ago, and we keep showing the same one for over and over for every single episode. Anyways, today we're talking about continue our series on RPGs that we like and find interesting. As you know, Andrew has been killing it with Lancer, so make sure to check those out on our
depending on who you ask.
Don't check the Reddit. Don't check the comment section. No, it's been great. And I'm doing my second episode on Cyberpunk. Today we're talking about the roles or classes, as for people who are more used to D&D. But before we get started, Andrew, what are you drinking today besides your medicine?
Well, because my stomach decided it's going to start lacerating myself, I was originally going to have an iced coffee Keurig and be like, oh, ha, 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 mass-produced coffee because this is,
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. But, my stomach's like, no, dude, you're done. So it's...
Damn.
So instead, I'm just having mass-produced Powerade.
I mean, Powerade's pretty good, though. I like Powerade.
I like Powerade.
Yeah. I am doing the trifecta today. I'm doing the one for hydration, which is my water.
Mm.
I'm doing one for funsies, which is Liquid Death Peach Tea, which is excellent. Yeah, I'm sad I couldn't find it for that for the gaming weekend.
That's all right.
It was so good.
I downloaded. I've downed plenty of those things.
Oh, okay. So you had it. Yeah, it's good. Isn't it it's like tea? I hate when tea is too sweet, and that tea is perfect.
Yeah,
it's just sweet enough. And one for energy.
I don't.
My Red Bull.
Ooh. What it was about the Liquid Death, but those things went right through me. The second I had one, I'm oh god, I gotta
go. Because your brain thinks it's a beer.
I guess. I don't know.
All right. So, last episode on Cyberpunk, I did a big old overview about the whole game in total. and I kind of did. It was like 37 pages, and only 2 of them were dedicated to the actual roles that you can play.
Oh my god.
And I went over them. Yeah, I went over them really quickly. So now I'm doing a deeper dive. Not considered an expert, mainly because I haven't played them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just me kind of like going through them. Also, the book doesn't really do a very good job at organizing these, or the way. I feel like D&D nailed down the player handbook because it kind of shows you the information as you need it.
Right.
Right. This one is like you get the roles early on, but then you get the roles abilities in like page 140.
Yeah, that's honestly.
So it's like
that's honestly something I have to agree with you. Like they really did understand the cohesion because
like how your brain processes as you're building this stuff. Yeah. And then like character creation is in the middle, but then there's sections in between. It's weird. It's excellent book. It's just laid out kind of different. Once you get it, it's like, okay,
yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, because it's like, what's it? The Lancer book kind of suffers from the same thing, where it's like, in the very beginning, it's like, okay, this is what the stats do, and this is what the weapon mounts do, and then the middle is mech combat, and then the very end is the classes. Classes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
We could have swapped some of these around.
And there might have been a logic to it. I think it's because they're familiar with it.
Yeah.
They kind of like, okay, this makes sense for somebody who's experienced already in the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want to see these things this way. But it makes it harder for somebody like me who's never played it once, but like who's not familiar with the game, going through the book. Yeah. Especially when you have to read the whole damn thing. All right, cool. So let's dive right into it.
Okay, let's get into it.
Oh, before we get started, let me explain to you kind of like how roles work. I told you in the previous episode that there's no leveling.
Okay.
Or traditional leveling in Cyberpunk. There's not like, oh, you're level 4. Now all these things happen.
Right.
There is 2 types. IP. Fuck, I already forgot it. They call experience points something different. Damn it. Not part of my notes. But essentially, you get like a pool of experience points. There's a little table to show you like how to give these. And it's like, you get 1 point for this, 2 points, 10 points for this, 16 points for this. And then when it's time to progress, and I'm going to make another episode on improvements, you decide what to do with those points. And you get to buy different things. You either get to buy skill improvements to improve your specific skills, or role ability improvements. So it's not both. Role abilities is almost like your actual level in the game. It's how you level up your class.
Okay.
Skill improvements is just for comparison, like your sleight of hand. You improve your sleight of hand. You improve your athletics. You improve your whatever.
But nothing like increases your health or anything like that.
No, because you're just human. The only thing that can increase your health is cybernetics or armor, buying better armor.
So it's like you become a better, like your role improves, but you physically cannot improve without cybernetic enhancements.
Yeah, or yeah, exactly. Or better weapons, better armor, better tech, essentially. Because that's what Cyberpunk is all about.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to better understand. Okay.
Yeah. With that in mind, we all start at a rank 4 for your role ability.
Why not rank?
And that'll make sense.
Okay.
Rank 4, yeah. That'll make sense once we start going through these.
Okay, all right.
So
let's
move on
to
to
at rank 4. Got it.
Yeah. Let's move on to the first one.
Okay.
Cyber Boys!
That's a girl. First of all,
is it Andrew? Andrew, are you assuming?
Oh no. Nope, this is it. Okay, hold on. I gotta
get you clearly. Hey guys. All right. So my kind of like basics on Rocket Boys is that they are just very famous performers, and they can influence people. Right.
Okay.
Now here's where we get the nitty gritty on how they can influence people. Their main role ability is called Charismatic Impact. And this is, somebody put it really well. I forgot the name. It's a YouTuber I was listening to while I was working on this. Do you remember the game Guitar Hero 3?
Yeah, of course.
You know, when you started playing, like in the background, you started like a garage band, like a small little venue.
Mm-hmm.
then eventually your crowd grew, and then you ended up in like the stadium of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how this works. There's a lot of information in this slate. We don't have to go through all of it. It's all in the book once again. So I'm gonna just kind of like touch base on like where you start, where you can end up at.
Okay.
So, there's a couple of different things that you can do with your rank. You start at rank 4, which means that you are a well-known. You can play in well-known clubs, essentially.
Okay.
Then there's ways that you can influence your fans. There's either a single fan, a small group, I think it's up to 6, or a huge group that you can influence. As you rank up, you get more influence over them. In the at level 4, for example, for a single fan, you can. I can't read it on my screen, which kind of sucks because I did a. So you can pull a major favor, or put in a good word, or bet someone. That's what your influence can get you.
Okay.
For a small group, you can convince a small group of them to regularly hang out with you, provide booze, drugs, party favors, etc. And a huge group of fans, you have a strong local following, and fans buy merc and recordings from you. Either video, because you don't have to be a musician. It can just be,
Right.
You can be an actress or whatever. Pulling back a little bit, the way this plays in role play is, if you are a rocker boy and you're going anywhere, depending on your rank, you can have fans that either recognize you, don't know who you are, or just one person who's just already a fan of you.
Okay.
You can also do a specific role to turn people into fans, because you're just that charismatic. Once you turn people into fans, then you can influence them by beating that DV that's right there. Difficulty value 8, 10, 12.
Okay.
And
I was just about to ask, what does DV mean, but okay.
Yeah, difficulty value. The way that is, so the way it works is just your charismatic impact plus which is your roll ability, plus a D10 versus a DV of whatever.
Right.
D8, D10, D8, D12. So you start, like if you go rank 1, for example, the only thing you know is small local club. You know, you can do a small favor from someone to buy a drink or something for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can stop up to 6 people and then befriend them.
Okay.
But they're still not really like fans of you.
Right.
But then if you scale all the way up to the next, so from that to 4, which I just explained, to 6, then you can play in more large important clubs. You can convince your fans, one single fan, to commit a minor crime, fight someone, shoplift, whatever. A small group to be a personal posse, hang out with you and do favors, or a huge group that that are all over the city and they're strongly loyal and will do major favors to you.
Yeah, so I can really start to see how this can snowball here, and especially like the thing is that like the single fan stuff is kind of eerie, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, because it starts out like it. I think it'd be very interesting if like you had a rocker boy character and the single fan was a character that is maintained throughout the story, and you see them slowly turn into you know, and so like essentially a cultist for this for this.
Yeah.
know?
So if you flash forward all the way to rank 10, you can play in huge stadiums, your international video, and play international video. Your single fan will sacrifice themselves without question. A small group can risk their lives and act as personal protection for you. And a huge group of worldwide following with strong cult-like features will do almost anything for you.
So you can start a riot.
Yeah. Never Fade Away. Remember the big famous story?
Yeah.
He literally started at Riot to get into Arasaka Tower.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So pretty much you are a very charismatic leader, and it could go really wrong for your fans. You know, in the beginning, and I kind of love the story progression on here, because like you said earlier, I like the point of view that you took of like that one single fan who reoccurs in every single level of your ranking up. But like the storytelling of like, you know, maybe you start like starry-eyed star, like you just want to be someone, and you know, oh, somebody recognized me, oh my god, you know, and then by like rank 7, you're like, hey, kill that dude.
Yeah. Well, I
you
mean,
know, like you yourself evolve with your ranking.
I mean, because it's like okay, so you say you start at rank 4, right?
Yeah.
So you start, and like maybe like the single fan is like, I mean, because of what it says, it could be like a groupie or something like that, and then you have and then you kind of have like a small fall from grace. So like you're back at rank 1 or 2, and then you see that guy in a bar, you're like, hey, you ain't gotta do anything crazy. Just buy me a drink. We'll talk it out.
Yeah.
And then you slowly build your ranks back up. And this guy that you like hung on to is now like your most fervent follower. Like, there's a part deep down that I recognize this is deeply fucked up, but also very compelling.
Yeah, exactly. And you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna get that feeling through a lot of these actually. And I think it's two things. Because you see this in real life all the fucking time.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so it's like, oh my god, fucking Charles Manson right now.
Yeah, I mean, like there's news stories about people be like, oh well, they didn't directly tell me to do it, but they told me to do this. And
yeah, exactly.
And then they ask the artist, I'm like, I have no idea who this person is.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I just think it's very interesting because earlier I just mentioned that our last episode, Rocket Boy, they're just they're very charismatic and they can get through to people or whatever. But now we starting to see the mechanic of it. Like you can manipulate people, and you can perform and all that, and that's great. But not only if you go to a new place and there's no fans, you can turn people into your fans. It will take some roles and some role playing,
right?
But then you'll have a small group of 6 people who will just jump in front of bullets for you.
So what kind of role does this one play like in a group? Like is it like I mean I'm trying to like understand it from like a more RPG. Like is it like a support or is it just is that even a thing? Should I divorce myself entirely from that mentality?
So I would suggest you kind of divorce yourself from it a little bit.
Okay.
There is some roles that are very specific for certain things, but it's not like the holy trifecta of like RPGs usually in this game, right? This is a bit of support because remember, all these guys can pick up a weapon and shoot you. Like,
okay,
that's not stopping them. This Rocker Boys can have armor jacket.
Okay,
like there's not stopping from that. So anybody can do the damage.
Okay,
it's just what makes you a unique way of achieving things. And remember, this is not only the violent aspect of it. This is also like create a diversion. Everybody in this building when trying to infiltrate is a big fan of Rocker Boy girl here, let's just talk to them to do major favors for you, depending on which rank you are, and shut down the whole building so it's easier for you to like walk in. Like it's, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's just different ways to approach the problem.
Like okay, so like maybe you have to go to like an Arasaka place or something like that, and you're like, let's say like you're a rank 7, and like okay, so I guess you can say the staffing. That like certain members of the staffing in Arasaka will be like a small group, so you can be like, hey, like I know like this is kind of like a weird favor, but because I'm blah blah blah, do you think you can like let me in? And there'd be like somebody like, oh my god, yeah, of course, anything for you.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, a bit of a support character, but it's still badass as fuck and could be pretty dangerous in higher ranks for sure.
Okay.
Right. So let's move on to the solo. Solo. This one's a bit more straightforward. It's just combat awareness. This is your heavy hitter. And what you have here is your rank equals a pool of points that you have to dedicate to certain things.
Okay.
The different places you can allot these points into is damage deflection, fumble recovery, initiative reaction, precision attack, spot weakness, and threat detection. Damage deflection, all it means is you put points into it, you take less damage.
Okay.
Fumble recovery is you can if you remember, I haven't gone through mechanics, that's probably going to be an even deeper dive, like how to get it done. But here, when you fumble, you have to roll an extra d10 and subtract that from whatever the value was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how a critical failure is. With fumble recovery for 4 points, you don't pay attention to that. It's still treated as a 1,
right? But
you don't get to roll the negative 10 on top of that.
Okay, so so is there things that happen at negative values, or is negative values?
Well, you fail. No, you just fail.
Okay, so then so hold on, help me understand here. So you get a fumble, which is a natural 1.
Yeah.
So then why would you roll another d10 and subtract that? from it?
Because you can have you still have like all your pluses. So you probably have your combat awareness
Okay.
on here. You have your weapon stat. You have your stat. You have your skill. You have your weapon modifier, whatever that is.
Okay.
So even with a natural one, you can still pass the
Gotcha.
the contesting roll.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the fumble just send -10
Okay.
to it, or up to a -10.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, and there's also, which I didn't know until I started reading this, there's weapon damage, armor damage, and I think a fumble up to a certain point can destroy your weapon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the more I read, the more I find I'm like, damn it, it's gonna be like a whole other thing.
Okay, so the fumble is to like almost make damn sure that like even with your bonuses and stuff like that, you're going to miss. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. Yeah, and I might not be wrong. I mean, I might be wrong on this one, but it could also mean that your weapon gets damaged,
Okay.
and then your weapon gets penalties
Okay. So then
because it jams or whatever.
okay, so then the fumble recovery, make sure none of that happens.
Correct.
That makes more okay.
So you still treat it as a one,
Okay.
but you know,
Right.
if you're a solo and you have your combat stuff ready, like you'll probably be fine.
Right, but it's like a minor inconvenience and not a catastrophic loss of your weapon or
Exactly.
something like that. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Initiative reaction. Every point gets you a +1 to your initiative. Precision attack. Essentially just greater accuracy. You know, depending on points. Depending on the points you allot to this one, you get a +1 to your attack modifier. Spot weakness is even simpler. For each point, you get +1 to the damage. So precision attack is +1 to your hit attack. See if you hit.
Okay.
Spot weakness is to your damage after your hit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then threat detection. Each point adds +1 to any perception checks made.
Okay.
So imagine you have a pool points. You have to start with 4 points. You can either go all in on fumble recovery, or you can put 2 points into damage deflection, and then 1 point on weakness and 1 or 2 points on weaknesses.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, how bad is fumble recovery? Like, is it like is it one of the things where like, no, you need to put it in as soon as you can, or is it?
I
Just...
haven't played, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? We haven't played enough. It sounds like it's important. I mean, it's a D10. What are the chances of getting a 1? Pretty high.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, maybe it is very important. And, and then all these things, you can change it before combat.
Okay.
If you forget to, it's still the same settings as before, if that makes sense.
So, wait, what do you mean you can change it before combat? Like you can.
So you have 4, yeah.
Okay, so you can
Yep.
reallocate it. Okay, all right.
Yep, you can reallocate it before every encounter. So if you know you're gonna go into an area that gives you a higher chance to fumble things because I don't know why, but it does. Maybe some rule that says that 2 also counts as a 1. Then you can just do fumble recovery. If you you can just adjust. So very simple. Or your rank equals your pool of points.
Right.
Obviously, when you rank 10, you have 10 points, so you become Terminator. But this is one of the most straightforward roles.
Yeah. So it could also be something where like if it's like you're going into a particularly hot combat zone, you can probably put all your stuff into damage deflection, or or you can either try to like outgun them and put it all into spot weakness, where it's just like, if I kill them first, they can't kill me.
Correct. The best defense is an offense. Yeah. Oh, one small detail for bad damage deflection is only the first damage you take on that round.
Right.
Yeah, so if you get hit the first time, you take 2 points off of it. But then before your next round, so if you get hit again, you take full damage.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a solo. Pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the
shotgun
Netrunner.
that Red Bull.
Yeah. So Netrunner, surprisingly, also very straightforward because it's all you do. This is your stuff.
Okay.
So your rank determines your actions your actions you can take on the net per turn.
Okay.
So 1 through 10, you can take 2 actions. 4 to 6, you can take 3 actions. 7 to 9, you can take 4 actions. And then rank 10, you can take 5 actions.
When does it learn the toilet tank skill? where it can like hack on the.
That was advanced Cyberpunk, right?
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be a different episode.
that was in the playtest model. They didn't release it because it was too strong.
it was too OP. And then here are the abilities that you can do as a netrunner. So a backdoor is essentially just a way through to crack passwords or pass through whatever obstruction you find in the architecture you're plugged into.
Mm-hmm.
A cloak, it hides your actions before you leave.
Right.
A control, you can control things that are plugged into the architecture. So if you want to control a turret, or if you want to control a mine or a door, or whatever, the lights, it's a control action. The ID, you ID something, it tells you what it is, how much value there is in it. Pathfinder is probably the first thing you do when you plug into an architecture. Mm-hmm. It shows you all the floors. Remember, depending on the role.
That's the one that tells you how many floors there are.
How many floors, or yeah.
Okay.
Your scanner is before you plugged into the architecture, you can scan the physical world to find anywhere to plug into. Your slide is to get past whatever black ice is in front of you. Remember, that's kind of important. It's a risk reward thing, because if somebody janks you out, all of them are going to get a free hit on you.
Right.
A virus is literally a custom virus that you can install at the core of an architecture. And then Zaps is your basic attack.
Okay, so even at level 10, you can't get all of these. So you still got to be...
No. You can use any of them. You only get 5 actions. Like, how many actions you can do in that?
Okay. So you're saying like when... Okay, so let's say I'm like a level or a rank 7 netrunner. And
So you got 4 actions.
Okay, so then I'm hacking it. So I can use any one of these, and then when I use one, I only have 3 more to use.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you got it. So you got to be very. Like, you can't just like boom, just like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This is like, okay, hold on.
Correct.
Relax.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, then you can next round you can do 4 more.
Okay. Well, I can.
It's 4 per round. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah. I can actually see.
Turn. I'm sorry.
I can actually see that kind of like, being something where like you're infiltrating like a tower or whatever, and you're being attacked. And you're like, oh shit! But hold on, wait. I need to use the back door, but I'm being hit right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah,
I like that.
That's pretty much it. Obviously, there's a whole section on net running, because each one of these has like even more things within it. Mm-hmm. But these are your abilities that you can do as a net runner.
Okay. Okay. So what rank was Howard when we were playing? Was he a 4?
Dude, I don't remember.
Okay. No.
That's an excellent question. Yeah.
Okay. Because I just remember like he was playing a completely different game than what we were playing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but I like I said, like last episode, I kind of ran it wrong too. I just, the whole like the net and the physical world and he can move around didn't quite click in my brain when we played it. Or maybe it was different in the playtest material. I don't know.
Okay.
I know he could have moved and could have done a lot of other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I didn't know. Yeah. All right. This is when things start getting a little bit interesting.
Okay.
The tech role ability is Maker. And I am not going to go into all the freaking details for this one. And I'm going to be saying this a lot for a lot of the next techs roles. But essentially, you get to make, I'm sorry, let me use the right terminology. Upgrade, fabricate, or invent something. Yes, like literally you can invent a brand new weapon that your DM then puts the stats into, talks with you, and then okay, this is approved in the game now.
Oh wow.
You're literally like homebrewing weapons into the game with this role.
Okay, I don't see that being a problem at all, but okay.
Oh man, yeah. So anyway, the tank can fix, improve, modify, make, and invent new items using the Maker as their ability role.
Okay.
Right? As their role ability. Whenever a tech increases their Maker rank by 1, they gain 1 rank in 2 different maker specialties of their okay, I just remember how this works. So for every rank you go up, you get 2 points. Yeah, well, because before the episode, I was making the other 5 classes, and I was like, "Fuck, I should have been reviewing this one instead of." Anyways, for every rank, you go up, you get to put 2 points into one of these 3. And then
the upgrade expertise, or just any of the expertise?
Well, right, either upgrade, fabricate, or invent, and then that. Let's say upgrade has now, I don't know, 2 points.
Okay.
So that adds to your tech roll when you have to upgrade something.
Okay.
The cool thing about this class is that if you want to fabricate or invent something, you have to source all these materials. And this is kind of like where it's not just like, oh, I'm fabricating this, so boom, I just made this fucking weapon.
Right.
No, I'm making a luxury weapon, right? It's going to take me a month, and I need all these parts, whatever the DM dictates. That can become its own side adventure.
Yeah, because like, how am I gonna get this particular? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Or you're in a mission and you find, the tech finds the workbench of like the enemy. Oh, what do I find here? This could allow you to make this expensive weapon or expensive explosive or whatever expensive gear item. And then you can play out that scene in Metal Gear Solid 3 where he's going over like the slides and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So I can see this being like where the tech is like, hey, I really need to get my hands on this part, and the rocker boy's like, hold on, let me call it a favor. you know? Yeah. And then turn into one super loyal fan, like, I need you to kill this guy. And it's like, anything for you, Tay-Sway.
Yes, but also, okay, so keep that thought in mind. It's gonna come into play for some of the other classes. But yeah, so to go over upgrade, fabricate, and invention is, so upgrade is just somebody's current weapon, your current weapon, or one of your party members' current weapon. You can upgrade it in a couple of different ways. There's even more than this. This is just the ones that I just quickly typed up.
Right.
You can lower humanity loss for cyberware, increase stats, simplify the items to make repairs easier, grant the abilities to conceal the weapon. So if you have like a big ass shotgun, maybe he makes it so he folds. You can hide it. Grant weapon slots of an exotic weapon, so to add upgrades to it, increase the quality of the weapon. Increase an item's SP by 1, which is their stopping power.
Okay.
Then the other one is fabricate, which means so you create an item that already exists on the book by acquiring the materials, and then all you have to do is a specific roll. I think it is the tech plus the skill that requires for that to repair that item, your rank, plus a D10, and then you can create the items, the item you're trying to fabricate if you have the materials. Simple as that. Invention, otherwise, very similar, but then it takes time to do. And it's the same thing. You have to find all the inventions, and then you have to do all the inventions. You have to find all the items that you need and materials that you need to create this invention. And this can literally be anything. It can be a weapon that makes people, I don't know, turn into clowns. Like, you literally pause the game, because it takes, I mean, if you look at the table that I have here, it can take up to like 1 month to create something.
Okay.
So you can literally talk to your DM and be like, yo, this is a weapon I'm thinking of creating, and if it's something that's not in the book, then you talk to the DM. What's the damage? What's the quality of it? What is like you're literally homebrewing into the game.
Right.
So that's what makes the tech that really cool.
Now, can these guys make a pocket nuke?
Yes, yes, they can.
That's scary to think that there's just some guy in like Metro City that's just like in an apartment somewhere that just has the know-how to be like to just make bombs.
Yeah, I mean it's Night City, so
yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Night City, not Metro City.
And they can source all the materials too within Night City. But yeah.
Okay, so hold on, wait. Can we go back just real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say So I have to roll a 24 to make a very expensive invention.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So the text skill is okay. All right, I was just trying to understand that because there was like a lot of like math to add up there on.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different numbers. So there's your tech skill. I'm sorry, your tech stat.
Mm-hmm.
Your tech skill means that is whatever certain weapons, certain things have like a to repair this. You need to roll this one specific thing.
Right.
You use that specific skill to do it. Your rank, which if you start with 4 is 4, and then a D10.
Now, does the time part of the table, does that go for all 3 expertise?
No, it goes for invention.
Just inventions.
Correct.
So like upgrading fabrications, like you can just kind of like do it on the fly, like
if you have all the resources, yes.
Okay, all right. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah, the time comes finding the resources, I guess you could say.
Okay. Okay.
Because this is, for the most part, these resources are not like you might be able to find like the stuff at like the gun shop, but like you might need like a very specific thing, and then that's when you dive into the inner part of Night City and find old tech or something.
Gotcha.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we can.
So it's your, yeah. So all right, moving on to medicine. This is when you were talking about the trifecta. This is just essentially your healer. This guy, probably my least favorite, but that's because I don't usually play healers.
Mhm.
Still kind of cool though. You keep people alive that shouldn't be alive. Whenever you rank up, you add 1 point to one of your choice. Either surgery, medical tech, pharmaceuticals, and medical tech cryosystem operation.
Okay.
Okay, surgery. So in this game, most people cannot bring you back. You know how like in D&D you can just help someone and they're stabilized to 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here.
Okay.
Surgery is only medtechs can do surgery, or if you take somebody to a hospital. So let's say you go down, you have bullets in you. That's surgery. You're gonna have to like go in there and like, you know, for every 1 point you gain 2 points in the surgery skill, which it's immense. Like that doesn't usually happen. Remember how I told you that you have to pay to increase your skills?
Right.
Usually, so you're getting 2 for 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So if you're not a medtech and you're trying to get into surgery, you have to pay a lot for 1 point.
Well,
Here you pay same amount to increase your rank, but you get 2 points.
okay. So how
Yeah.
how often do you use surgery? Like, is that a
You're a military med tech. Somebody gets shot, they go down. Oh my God, save him! Oh
Okay.
God!
Okay, so is like it, just to kind of help me understand, just to bridge the gap, is like the surgery skill, is that like the healing kind of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
don't think surgery is like you're nicely prepped and you go into a surgery room.
Yeah.
This is like sewing the bone off to save your
Yeah,
life.
it's just like, hi, my name is Dr. Blah blah blah. And this is gonna be, and this is your anesthesiologist.
Yeah, no, none of that shit.
Don't touch me, I'm sterile. Okay.
And then you have pharmaceuticals, which is you get the ability to make essentially potions.
Okay.
There's a whole list of them.
There is someone furiously typing out how that is not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Get it wrong. So antibiotics, and I didn't write the descriptions for this, but antibiotics, rapid tux, speed heal, stim, and search.
Okay.
Some of them, I'm assuming search is like haste, speed heal. You're literally, it's like a potion. You go up on your hit points or whatever. So you have the ability of like making these on the fly.
Okay.
And then the cryo system operation is actually kind of cool because I didn't know this existed until now. So you essentially, when you start in this career, you get what's called a cryo pump, which is literally a small case with a big old body bag in it, and they can put you in there and stabilize you.
Really?
Yeah, just enough to get you into like somewhere they can actually like. There's certain type of surgeries that they just can't like do on the floor.
Right.
Your head gets blown off. They take you somewhere.
It would be like a DV30 surgery or something like that, where it's like,
Yeah,
it's like
right, exactly.
Yeah, like we need to get him to a facility. I can't do it with Like, scissors and twine.
Yeah. Rank 2, you become a registered Cyberpunk tech, and you gain unlimited 24/7 access to one cryotank. A cryotank is essentially if you've ever seen any sci-fi out there where they put you into a thing and then the little circle thing, the ring goes around you and it like operates on you, all sci-fi like. That's essentially what a cryotank is. A cryotank is.
Okay, so you become cryotank certified. You get a little card.
Yep, little badge,
That,
your
you know.
little badge, on your. You get a. What's it called? No, overalls. What the fuck? I can't think of a. What is it? The nurses wear.
Oh wow.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, it's escaping me. There's
Scrubs.
literally a store.
Scrubs.
Yeah. Scrubs. You get like a nice little set of scrubs.
Jeez, that was
level.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
bad. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. At level 3, 4, and 5, you get cryotanks in your house or wherever you want them at. So you get your own personal cryotank.
Okay.
The first one you get 1, the second one you get 2, so now you have 3, and then your level 5 you get 3 more, which now you have 6 of them.
And these are
So essentially, you can put your full party and have them heal. You want you fuckers? Just put them in there.
so these are like healing stations, essentially.
Healing stations. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay.
You do
Alright.
surgery, they'll whatever stabilize you.
See. Now you said that
You can run your you can run your own little Ripper Dog, or not Ripper Dog, but like your own little hospital, and have people pay you for it, I guess.
See, now you said that that's not interesting, but I think it would be really cool if you introduce a med tech that's like slightly higher rank than the rest of the party. And it'd be like, we need to get him to my place. And it's like, why do you have no time? There's no fucking time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put him in the fucking tank.
But yeah, it's MedTech. Any questions before I move on?
No, actually, this one seems pretty cut and dry. I just kind of wish I knew what the what the pharmaceuticals did, like exactly. But
Yeah. Do I have them here? Let me see.
because like I know what
see.
I know what antibiotics do in real life, but like in the game, is there like
All right, here you go. I got them.
okay?
So antibiotics. When injected with a dose of antibiotic, a target who has already started the natural healing process heals an extra 2 hit points every day for a week. A person can only benefit from 1 use of antibiotics at a time.
Oh, okay.
So actually pretty, I guess, comparable to real
Yeah,
life.
I mean, as normal as they can be.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Rapid.
Is there like a cooldown for the cryo tanks? Because
That's an excellent question. I don't know.
because it's like why wouldn't you just use that all the like why wouldn't that just be your bed? Like
That's a good question.
okay.
And maybe that'll be another episode on healing.
Okay. I
Actually, maybe that'll be part of the how to get it done, because how to get it done gets like into like us who actually play the game, but then like gun repairs, vehicle combat, like all this other stuff. So
Okay.
that might be a chunky episode.
okay. Because
Right. So
I would imagine there has to be something that would help balance that, up
Yeah.
to a certain degree. That way you can get the full. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So rapid detox. When injected with a dose of rapid detox, a target who is affected by a drug, poison, or intoxicant is immediately purged of the effects of that substance.
Okay. That.
Speed heal. When injected with a dose of speed heal, a target who is not in the mortally wounded wound state immediately heals an amount of HP equal to their body plus will. A person can only benefit from 1 use of speed heal per day. Okay, so yeah, it's literally just a potion, a healing potion. Stim. When injected with a dose of stim, a target can ignore all penalties from being in the seriously wounded wound state for an hour. A person. Okay, so if you're seriously wounded, I'm assuming there's penalties for it. You don't give a shit.
Right.
And then Surge. When injected with a dose of Surge, a target can function unimpaired without sleep for a full 24 hours. A person can only benefit from 1 Surge use per week.
Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, Andrew. So remember how I told you that I was going to split this episode on this into 2 episodes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was thinking like wow, this is actually kind of a short one. We can crack this one out in under 30 minutes. Yeah, we can finally,
I mean, yeah,
we can finally get that Fiverr editor.
Yes. All right, so part 2. Let's continue. Whew, look at all these stats. Look at all these numbers. Don't you love it?
Okay.
So media. The media.
This already immediately looks like a more like a different rocker boy. I could be wrong.
So
though.
yeah. So remember how I told you that there was like the 5 main ones, and then the 5 ones are kind of like,
Yeah.
I was so wrong. I was so very wrong. What was I talking about? Well, that was all me. I was a crazy person back then. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
There was a lot of time for growth and change in between then and now. I'm a different person.
Yeah. All right. So, this one's actually low-key one of my favorites, and I'm gonna say that a lot through all these. But the media not only convinces an audience of what they polish, but also has a larger audience the more credible they are. They also have greater access to sources and information, and they pick up rumors passively.
Okay.
Okay, so without going into all the nitty-gritties of and bugging this episode down, essentially what you're doing here is these guys are not here to win the battle. These guys are here to win the war.
Right.
So there's two. Let's start with rumors. Rumors. There's 2 ways to find rumors. There's passive and active.
Okay.
Don't you love how I spell active there?
That's all right. I'm not gonna sit here and cherry pick every single.
Yeah. So passive just means it's between games. The DM does it, and then you start the game with like, oh, this one rumor, right? And then active is you are actively looking for rumors around whatever city or town you're in.
Right. Yeah. So passive is you're just hanging out in the bar. You overhear people. Active is you are like going on the beat, being like, "Hey, I heard about this."
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And as you can see, the DV is higher on the active part of it. All right. So let's break these down real quick, because you get for whatever rank you're in, there's different categories, just kind of like the rocker boy. So the first thing is you have assets or sources, right? They scale as you rank up. So at level 4 or at rank 4, your sources or access to city gang honchos, minor politicians, corp executives, as well as well-known neighborhood people, right? Your audience is that you are well known as a contributor to a local stream sheet of data pool. Stream sheet's usually like almost like a mission shit, if you think about it.
Okay.
So it's like how like, oh, this thing is happening. Oh, let's go investigate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's essentially your quest board.
Okay.
Yeah. Believability. 3 out of 10 chances the audience buys it.
So this would be like oh, get him on the case. He he can take care of it or something like that. And then you're sent out to Night City to go, bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Pretty much. And then the impact that you can have is that your change created by a story scoop has a direct effect. Local small-time bad guys get arrested or thrown out of power just to get served.
Damn.
So how does this become part of gameplay? Easy. You have a friend that's a media, and your friend's like, yo, I heard this rumor that there's this one thing going down in, I don't know. Wow, I literally just read all the places in Night City, and I just forgot about all of them.
That's okay.
Whatever, downtown, right?
Right.
Downtown Night City. The rumor is that, this one guy is selling drugs to kids, but I don't have any concrete evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay-wise, you have to find that evidence. Depending on how much evidence you find, your chances of your credibility goes up. So you at 4, you start with 3 out of 10 chances. So if you find one solid piece of evidence, something that you can write about and have people believe, it's now 4 out of 10.
Okay.
If you find 2 more pieces of evidence is 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And then if you find 2 more, then it's 6 out of 10. You can only have up to 3.
Okay. So
yeah, right.
Okay, so I can already just by going by this little graph here, I can tell that the media is, now correct me if I'm wrong, probably not a very active role, but still very powerful in its own way.
Anybody, like I told you earlier, anybody can have a big ass gun.
Yeah, but I mean,
so it's not like you're gonna be sitting there like just doing nothing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like unlike the solo and the medtech where those are more like boots on the ground as bullets are flying, like like the
Correct.
solo shooting, the
Yeah.
medtech is like this guy is
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm gonna film all of this, and then like
Yes.
3 sessions from now there will be a payoff.
Exactly. Yeah. And like here that they picked him with a big ass camera, but in Cyberpunk 2077, like they have like things ingrained in there, like it's like a helmet with like a thing, and like they're not walking around like this. You know what I mean? Like they're.
Well, yeah.
But like they're there because they're the only ones who will be able to identify the piece of evidence what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the party is there to defend or make a way for him or sneak him through. Like maybe he just wants to sneak to this meeting and record the meeting to publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it says 10 out of 10, 2 out of 10, that means that you roll a d10, and then it has to be lower than whatever the amount is.
Gotcha.
So if it's was 3 at rank 4, 3 out of 10, you have to roll lower than a 3.
Yeah.
If you have evidence, it can go up to your chances can only go up by 3.
Okay.
So it can go up to 6. So 6.
Okay. So if you're a rank 10 and you have enough evidence, it doesn't matter what you roll. You can nail that dude to the cross if you really wanted to.
Correct. So your resources at rank 10 is major world leaders, major corporations, major corporation heads, and world famous celebrities.
Okay.
So you have a lot of you're well known.
Yeah.
You are known worldwide. People stop for your autograph. You're almost a celebrity.
You're that who's that one really famous news reporter that has like the gray hair in real life? You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'll look it up. Hold on. Keep going.
People in high places use you to leak things, leak important information. Your believability is 7 out of 10. So even then, you can just say, this dude's, I don't know, blew up an orphanage, and people are very, very likely to believe you. And then the impact that you can have is that changes things all over the world. Mega corporations and powerful governments may fall or be overthrown. International laws may be established.
Damn. Anderson Cooper was who I was thinking of.
Oh, I know that dude. Yeah. The one who does like all the really in-depth. Yeah.
The one that's known worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That guy. Yeah. So this guy went from like, he's kind of lame looking to like he can drive the story. Like he can be one of the main key players in overthrowing, I don't know, Arasaka and Night City.
This honestly sounds like to me like when you first start, this will be like the joke class. But then, like, as you level up, like, no, this guy is the most powerful member of the party.
Yeah. But I mean, like, look, even at rank 4, though, you can arrest a bunch of gang members.
Right. But what I mean is that, like, for someone that like let's say like our table just started playing Cyberpunk. Yeah, I should be like, oh yeah, I want to play as a solo or like or the Netrunner. I want and be like, someone's gonna be like, oh, I want to be the media. Like, what the? Okay, cool, whatever, Mr. Reporter Man. But then they end up being like the most powerful person in Night City.
And like one thing that for me at least I find very interesting about all these roles, especially these ones like the Rocker Boy or this specific one, or even the Netrunner so far, is that it really gives you the tools. Remember how we talk about D&D that like sometimes it doesn't give you enough tools to like craft the story? Here are your tools. They're right here. Like they're literally part of the gameplay that can move the story along.
And I think a big part of that is that when I don't want to get too off track, but I just wanted to throw this out here because I just had it fly into my brain. But I think like when it comes to this, like you really need to lean into the source material, because it's like okay, it's obviously cyberpunk. What is cyberpunk? It's dystopian mega capitalism, and what do we know from dystopian mega capitalism? If you control the narrative, you control the truth. know
exactly.
So I mean, and that, so yeah, I can definitely see a media being a very potentially powerful character because of that.
Yeah. Which is what I was saying. Like when I first saw this guy's like, oh, the media, and like the description on the book, like the brief description was like, oh, okay, Power to influence. Why would I do that? Rocket Boy sounds way cooler.
Yeah, but it's like the
This guy's doing legitimately. Well, legitimately, but like it doesn't have to be like for good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the media is the lawful rocker boy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
like the rocker boy can start a riot, but
It's chaotic.
But the media could start a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally, you can overthrow governments, man. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like end of campaign. Oops, sorry. That's like end of campaign. End of campaign story moments right there that can be building up throughout all the sessions.
Where it's like, oh, you just had a city riot. That's cute. I overthrew an empire. Do you get that?
All right, teamwork for executives. Your role ability is teamwork. You're gonna laugh at this because it's so executive. It's great. I love it too. This is again another one that I'm like, oh, this is more. I think I remember. I think I said that it was more for like role play / for the DM to DMPC type thing. It wasn't really for the players. Again, completely wrong.
Why is health insurance one of the higher ranks? I don't like this.
So your role ability is called teamwork, right?
Okay.
And it goes by ranks. It's straightforward. Each rank gives you something. So at rank 1, you get your signing bonus. As a gift, you're given a set of corpus suit to identify you as one of their members, and it cannot be sold.
Okay.
So you get like a nice tailor suit made just for you.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah.
What does that do exactly?
It makes you a corpo.
Okay.
Meaning you can go into any corporation and be part of it. No problem.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cause that's not easy. Like people, if you go to, I know I keep saying Arasaka because like that's the biggest one. Everybody knows Arasaka. If you walk into Arasaka with just a suit, you're like, okay, they're here. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
They might be well off, but they're not part of the corporation. If you walk into Arasaka wearing a Arasaka corpo suit,
they're like,
oh, right this way, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they open doors for you, quite literally, just for being a corpo.
Yeah, and then there'll be a moment where it's like, don't you know who that is? No. Neither do I, but let's not fuck with them.
Yeah, pretty much. Then at rank 2, you get corporate housing at an apartment. It's paid for. You don't have to worry about rent.
Okay.
But you do have to take care of your lifestyle, which for a corpo is usually pretty expensive.
Right.
So that's what you get at rank 2. Now, at rank,
I don't understand these, but okay, keep going. I'm reading them. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. So at rank 3, you get your first team member.
Okay.
Excuse me. So at rank 3, 5, and 9, you get a team member. Meaning, you go out to HR and you're like, yo, I need a team. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, you're only rank 3, so you only get one.
Right.
Okay. Pick out of these. So you can have a company bodyguard, a cover operative, a driver, a net runner, or a technician. You essentially get a small party for your executive player.
Okay.
And they're all NPCs.
Okay.
You know, you roll a d6 and it gives you the stats. It's random. It gives you the stats. They'll have like their tables here, and they'll have different things that they're assigned to do. So, for example, the bodyguard is just your job is to escort and personal train you. I'm sorry, your cover job is escort and personal trainer. Your true job is to protect the executive in dangerous situations.
Okay.
Very straightforward. However, what makes this fun is that these guys are controlled by the DM.
Okay.
And there is a loyalty system.
Oh, okay.
Depending on how you interact with this NPC, their loyalty keeps going up or down, right? If it gets high enough, they will go out of their way and take a bullet for you.
Right.
If they go way down, they will turn you in.
Okay.
There's a table for it, so I'm just gonna quickly kind of go for it. So to gain loyalty, you can compliment your team members' work. You get a +1 on that one.
Okay.
You can give them a bonus or a perk of at least 200 European dollars. You support them against management. That's all. These all positive things. You give them a 20% cut of your earnings for a job. You give the team member a paid time off, or you risk physical harm for the team member. It's a +8. That's like the maximum. So essentially, you become a manager.
Yeah, I'm about to say this is hitting a little too close to home on this one here.
So the way you lose loyalty is you gain no loyalty with team members during an entire game session, -1. So if you don't give them any loyalty at all, like if you just ignore them, that's a -1.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. You berate or shoot the team member out of their work. Shoot the team member or their work out, -2. Ignore the team member's contribution to a job. Forget the team member's birthday. That's a -4.
I can't fucking believe that's.
Okay. Do not come through with bonus or perk promise.
Okay.
That's a -6. Throw them under the bus to management. That's like -6. Abandon the team member under fire. That's like -8.
Okay, so can there be? I don't know if you would know this or not, but can there be a situation where like you promise a team something like, hey, if we do this, if we do this job, everyone's gonna get a big bonus, and then like things go pear-shaped, and you're like, oh, I kind of promised them a really big bonus, and
I guess it comes down to your DM.
okay,
How they're role playing this guy. If the guy is very like, you promised me this.
mm-hmm.
Ooh, excuse me. I won my bonus. I don't care. I did the job. I did my part of the job. Then, yeah. But if and I will actually, you know what? I will put it to if my loyalty is very high, I might let it slide.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, dude, don't worry about it. We barely made it alive. But if my loyalty is already shaky, I'm like, where's my bonus?
Yeah. Because it could be somewhere if it's at +8 and you forgot to give them, or like you weren't good on your promise, then you lose 4 points. So they're still at +4. So like, okay, all right, yeah, this looks bad, but they're still pretty good. And then you forget their birthday. You know what? Fuck this guy.
I give my life to you, and you don't remember my birthday.
I'm not asking for much, okay? Just like a little caramel cake.
yeah. Nothing but cakes. Anyways, so let's say that
nothing but cakes. Oh my god.
Yeah. So let's say that you get your teammate killed, your team member, right?
Okay.
What do? Well, you go back to HR. It's like, yo, I need to hire somebody new. The next person that comes,
a position has opened up in my
pretty much. So, the thing is that the next person that comes in already comes to a -1 loyalty.
Yeah,
because they heard what happened.
Okay, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. You can have. Yeah.
Keep going.
No, I was gonna say you can have up to 3 people on your team, right? That's how it caps out.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go over them real quick. I already went through bodyguard. Your cover operative is the cover job is personal assistant stylist, but the true job is keeping the executive from getting their hands dirty. Okay. So, I mean, this is role playing, swords right here. Just as personal stylist, you can play him as flamboyant as you want or as serious as you want. Like maybe this big burly dude, very muscular, but he's like really into fashion for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but then you go ahead and like he's like fucking like breaking necks behind the door, behind closed doors. Company drivers.
Okay.
It's a valet or personal driver. It's a cover job. The true job is to drive, pilot, and maintain the team's vehicles.
Okay.
So pretty straightforward. The net runner is the cover job is IT engineer, research specialist. The true job is net running and information gathering. So hacker.
Have you tried turning it off?
Why are you not wearing sweatpants?
Meanwhile, they're like hacking.
Yeah. Company technician. The cover job is IT engineer, intern.
Okay.
The true job repairs team gears and weapons.
So I could see this being a lot of fun to role play. Because,
Yeah, 100%.
you know, just you know, like doing like all of like the managerial jargon, where, yeah, where it's like, where it's
to me, this adds so much depth to this character because I wasn't expecting it to be this silly. Or not silly. It's not silly. It's just very, dude. It's roleplay rich. That's what I'm telling you. Like, it's giving you the tools for you to build these characters and everybody around the character's story to move forward.
Because I can totally see it being something where it's like, oh, we need to infiltrate these guys and blah 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 and steal this stuff and whatnot. And meanwhile, the executive's like, no, I found a more cost-effective solution. and it's an undercover operative or something in there.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's the team members part of it, right?
Okay.
So let's continue with corporate housing because at rank 7, I know the numbers are going all over the place,
Yeah.
but at rank 7, you get upgraded to a Beaverville house in the executive zone.
Okay.
You know? Nicer, bigger place. And at rank 10, you can either be, you can either get a mansion in the executive zone or a luxury penthouse in the corporate zone.
And that's like,
Don't ask me about the zones, but they're just,
no.
you know, they're nicer areas in Night City.
but that's like the prime spot, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's you're up in like the ranks, like
Now,
the corporate ladder.
Now, let me tell you, or let me ask you: is there something where it's like, okay, again, we're using Arasaka because that's the only corporation I remember. I don't know. I don't know where your excuse is, but okay. So let's say you're an Arasaka executive, but do you have to be loyal to the company, or can you work against it? Like, can you be like a mole for like corporate espionage?
You can 100% work against it.
Okay,
but
so then
is your team member a secret cover agent?
See, now that would be something. Okay, see, now that's where the loyalty things can come in.
Yeah,
where you're like, I need you to take care of Bob. And like, but Bob's like the Godfather. Bob. I don't no. No. What Bob will be is fish food in 12 hours.
Yeah.
If not, you should seek other means of gainful employment.
And also, all of these bonuses and perks get transferred if you get taken into another. If you get extracted.
Oh yeah, if you get what's the. Okay, so this would be the extracted person. Oh, that would actually be a great way to kick it off. Where it's like where it's like you're working for one corporation and you get extracted, and it'd be like, okay, we need you to use your influence to be the mole for us, or else I don't know. We'll shoot your family or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Adrian, let's talk about the most important part of being part of the executive team.
The health insurance. Dental.
Yeah. So at rank 6, you get Trauma Team Silver. Mm-hmm. And then at rank 8, you get Trauma Team Executive.
Ooh.
Silver means that you have to pay for the surgery. Oh. Executive means that you don't have to pay for the surgery.
But they'll be there guaranteed in 3 minutes, right?
Correct.
No matter where you're at.
So imagine that. So you're an executive, right? Mm-hmm. And you have your team of 2 with you and your party. And things get really, really, really hairy, you know. Well, shoot yourself to get Trauma Team to come to you.
That's when you tell your company bodyguard like I need you to execute the leave of absence protocol. He's like, right away, boss. Poof, shoots you in the foot.
Because remember, like these guys are essentially a small team. Like they're fully armed, fully armored, and they will like get to you. So if you're in a very hairy situation, this is a viable backup option. However, you do not want to use them for very small health issues.
No.
So maybe one bullet is not a big deal, you know.
That's when you tell the med tech, I need you to hit me with a thing of surge real quick.
Right. But the thing is that in the book it says if you call them for something that's not serious, they might not respond to your next call.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, cool perk, but you know.
I mean,
don't abuse it.
I can definitely okay. Even outside of like not abusing it, I can totally see that being in a situation where the chips are down, and whatnot, and like everybody is on the verge of death, and the executive just hits the life alert button, and then the fucking combat drill,
Yeah.
with the trauma team, just like shooting their way,
Yep.
shooting their way through, so they can extract you. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had something going on my end here. But no, I can. Okay, I think I want to play the executive.
That's what I said. I was so wrong about these other classes. I'm like, wow, these have so much depth.
I mean, but okay, keep going, because
Right. No, but I was just gonna move to the next one. If you don't have
no, that's fine. There's something I want to say, but I want to wait till we get through all the classes first before I say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, lawman.
Okay.
This is also very straightforward. You are part of the Brotherhood of Policemen or lawmen in the city.
Mhm.
When you're in trouble, in serious trouble, you can call for backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The numbers here are just stats. It's essentially the combat number is like when you're running an NPC in this game, instead of having like all the different stats and whatever, some of them just have a combat number, and that's kind of like your modifier for things.
Okay.
It's just one instead of having like a bunch of different things. Anyways, so at rank 1, if you're calling for backup, by the way, at any moment here, you can call for your rank or lower. So you call for backup. That would be right there, and then you roll a d6, and that's how many minutes, hours? Can't remember. Oh, excuse me. Rather determine how many rounds it takes for them to get there.
Jesus.
Yeah. If you roll a 6, the good news with that is that the next rank up shows up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyways, let's go through them real quick. Rank 1 and 2, or the very beginning, you're never going to be there unless you decide to start there. You get 4 local rental cups. They arrive on foot, and they carry heavy pistols and wear Kevlar.
Oh, thank God, Paul Blart's on the scene. We're saved.
3 and 4 local cops on the beat. They arrive in 2 compact ground cars. They carry heavy pistols and are more armored with Kevlar.
Okay.
Rank 5 and 7, the sheriff's department. 2 local county mounties patrolling the exurbs and the highways around the city. They will arrive in high-performance ground cars armed with heavy pistols and assault rifles, armored with heavy armor jack.
Oh.
Yeah. Then rank 8 is recovery zone marshal, like the marshal of the Old West. These are actually I think this is my favorite because it has the highest HP, the highest SP, and the highest combat number.
Holy shit. 50?
Yeah.
Wow.
These are lone lawmen who patrol the recovery zone in new cities. One arrives on a superbike, carrying a very heavy pistol, assault rifle, grenade launcher, and wearing flak armor. So it's just the badass fucking sheriff shows up like armor to the teeth.
Yeah, it's a stranger perk from Fallout 3 where just like a guy just shows up and just blows their head off. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Rank 9, Sea SWAT. So 2 heavy hitters from the Psycho Squad. They carry assault rifles, rocket launchers, wearing metal gear, will arrive from the air on an AV4, which is the flying cars.
I'm sorry, wearing what?
I knew you were gonna say something. Don't
two heavy hitters in a Metal Gear show.
No, it's not. It's not what you think. It's not an actual.
I know. But what's the Psycho Squad? What the fuck is that?
That's Siswa. That's Militech. That's the guy we kind of briefly talked about it. They show up. They're like the very armored SWAT people, essentially.
Okay.
And then the most interesting one, rank 10, which is National Law Enforcement, Interpol, FBI, Dead Watch. So yeah, so these guys show up with a very heavy pistol, assault rifles, and light armor jacket, and they do arrive in an AV4. What makes these guys very interesting is that after they take care of the problem, they linger, and they help you investigate. So a lot more role playing aspect of it. There's 2 of them, by the way. They will show up help you with whatever happened in that, you know, if you're a lawman, you're investigating something, I don't know, the bodies, trying to identify things, where they got their weapons, all this kind of stuff, help you out with the story progression, and they say, okay, we're done here, they leave. Later on in the story, another fucking shootout happens, you know, adding backup, they show up again, boom, same guys. You have to keep them, you have to remember them, because they're gonna be the same two guys who show up to continue the case
I see.
until the case is closed.
Gotcha.
Once they figured out, oh, this is the guy who did it, or this is the guy who's been sending people after us, and they kill him, then they're like, we're done here.
And then they ride off. What's a
AB4 is, you probably seen him in the trailers of Cyberpunk 2077. It's the little flying cars that
Oh,
look
okay,
like spaceships.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
So, yeah.
this one, I don't know. I actually don't really know how I feel about this one. Like, it doesn't really seem that crazy. Like, not.
Well, it's interesting in an aspect that you do get backup. However, it does say in the book that if you abuse it, obviously you're gonna get either, you know, demoted or kicked out of the police force, whatever it is, whatever penalty you wanna assign to it. But it's kind of nice to know that you will have backup.
Right. Well, yeah, no, definitely having more people on your side when the chips are down is, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one has potential. Just it doesn't immediately click to me right now.
Yeah. Compared to the other ones that have like so much more depth to them.
The
most interesting one, I think, is the rank 10, but by rank 10, that's like,
yeah,
that's a lot.
this will probably have to be something like I have to play it to see what, like, you know, to get the full juice out of it.
All right. So this is another one that I think you will enjoy, because the fixer is role ability is called operator.
Okay.
And not operator in the sense that operator, you know, but operator in the sense like, let me connect you with someone.
Right.
I told you earlier that the last episode was a fixer. A fixer is someone who kind of like connects people and find things and information and whatever you need.
Yeah, they get you the jobs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy gets you, depending on your ranking, has essentially his network grows. So the first thing is the content and client for each one of these ranks. At rank 1, local honchos, gang lords, local neighborhood watch, right? Or leadership. Your reach, how far you can reach is, or what you can find, is you can always find a place to source cheap and everyday items for your clients, and on a piece-by-piece basis, even if they are otherwise unattainable.
Okay.
Unavailable, sorry. Then your other thing, depending on your rank, is your haggle. At rank 1 and 2, if you're successful, which there's a whole role for the haggle, it's your cool, trading skill, your operator rank plus a D10 versus theirs.
Okay.
Ranked 1 and 2, you get 10% off, or 10% or more or less than market price when buying or selling.
Okay.
And your grease means how much you can blend in with people. So you know the cultural ins and out of your immediate neighborhood, including all local gangs.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you an idea of, like, it's essentially his networking, right?
Yeah.
When this becomes very interesting, it's at rank. So at rank 3 and 4, which is where you start, you just have more of rank 4. I mean, of rank 2 and 1. At rank 5 and 6, you can do once per month, working with a fixer of your rank. You can set up something called a night market.
Okay.
Well, at a night market that you have helped organize, you can always find a place to source up to super luxury items. So essentially, you're setting up a black market, right? Later on, at rank 9, you can do the same thing, but then set up a midnight market within the night market.
Okay.
Here you allow criminal leadership to show up and meet in secrecy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. To get information on whatever you want. And as the ranks go up, obviously your grease becomes higher, so that, like, at rank 8, you blend seamlessly with almost any group, including very specialized or tight groups, such as secret societies, cults, and exclusive memberships. You know, rank 9, you can do executive. Rank 3, you can perfectly play with 3 additional areas around you. This is how you like a lot of role playing. This is the tech's best friend.
Right. I was just about to say this was where, because you were talking about where are we going to find the stuff for the tech? Well, that's where the operator comes in.
Yeah. Yep. So this guy is between him, the tech, and the media. There's a lot of like network and spider webs of information, rumors, and story beats that can be developed throughout.
Well, I can
right, because the operator can get the media into the night market, and then the night there he can find out that they're gonna need this very special like item to get into this whatever this is, and then they're gonna bring in the tech, and then maybe that building they're trying to get into to break into is part of the executives where they work. So they're gonna enlist them, and they're gonna get them in to get into the level that they need to get to break the thing. I don't know. There's a lot of like very complex storytelling that could happen between these 3 factors.
This feels like the only job, because like all the other ones obviously have like their own risks and stuff like that. This one feels like the one that has the most active danger towards the player, because
100%.
you are balancing yourself between, especially when you get to rank like the higher ranks, where you're like balancing yourself between criminal like leadership and corpo leadership and stuff like that, and bouncing between the two. Like this could be like no, if I mess something up, I'm a dead man. I like this one. This
Yeah.
If I would imagine, and I might be wrong in this, but this is just purely speculative on my end. But if there was like a Cyberpunk game that we were playing, I would imagine the Fixer is probably gonna be the one driving the story for the most part.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. No, I agree, because I think the Fixer will drive the story. If there's a media, I think the media will, not enhance, support the story.
Right.
Right, and then everybody else would just be like the muscle, or
Yeah.
whatever it needs to get done. Obviously, there's gonna have to be a net runner.
Like I can see probably the Fixer, media, and the executive probably having the most say in how the story goes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then everybody
100%.
else is just kind of like, okay, well, this happened, so this is when we call this dude in, So.
Yep.
All right.
So, last but not least, it's a nomad with their raw ability, Moto.
Okay.
So, I know the slide only shows like 2 paragraphs,
Right.
but there's like 4 pages
Oh my
for
god.
this guy, because the whole thing is vehicles.
Okay.
They're just, if anybody's gonna be driving around Night City or outside of Night City, you better have a nomad. Whatever role you're gonna have to do for the vehicle, either fixing it or driving it or battling with it, the nomad is gonna be the best bet for that.
Okay.
When you rank up, you get a choice of doing 2 things. You can either add a stock vehicle, minimum specs, to your moto bank. I mean, of your moto rank or lower to the pool of vehicles that you already have.
Okay.
Or you can upgrade one of the nomads' already permitted family vehicles with a single upgrade of their motor rank. When I mention family is because nomadics are they're essentially solos, but they're very family oriented.
Right.
And the higher you get in rank, I think once you get to rank 10, if I'm not mistaken, you become the matriarch or patriarch of that family, and then at that point you can just get all the cars out.
So is that like actual family, like blood relatives, or are we doing like a Fast and Furious La Familia kind of?
Fast and Furious Familia. Yeah. So you could play the Fast and Furious as a group of nomads.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're all kind of there. There's a guy who does like all the hacking as a net runner.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam Crusher is strong and all, but is he stronger than family?
The car flies through.
Yeah, Vin Diesel shows up.
Yeah. And then the book has just all the vehicles that you can get and what rank is required for them. There's upgrades for each one of them. There's upgrades for all vehicles, and there's upgrades for specifics like bikes, jet skis, sea vehicles, land vehicles, all bikes, all ground cars, EV4s, cabin cruisers, ground cars, jet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of like, I couldn't fit all that in the slide.
Right. Right.
Each one of them is like a full paragraph of descriptions for each one of them. But yeah,
So this,
pretty straightforward for this one. You're just literally a solo,
but you can
but
drive.
you have well, anybody can drive, but you're really good with the car.
Right.
Like all these upgrades can only be applied if you're a nomad car. You're in a nomad car.
Now,
So
can you be like a driver for a corpo thing? Like, can you be the driver for the
yeah.
executive or whatever?
yeah, I don't think an executive will hire a nomad.
But no, but
they're usually outside the city.
But no, but I'm saying, like, if you have an executive player, it'd be like, you know, you can hire them on, you know, like,
Yeah. So that's interesting because I was thinking about that. Like, can a player be an executive's team member?
mm-hmm.
No, because they're very specific about there has to be an NPC and they have a stat block for them.
Right.
However, you can be you can be a driver for the executive, just not officially getting paid by that corporation.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all that means. But yeah, that's the last of the roles, man. Look at that.
Damn, and you said this is gonna have to be a two-parter.
Well, because at first I was like, oh man, this is like a lot of information. And then like I went through it, like just reading it, not putting it into the slides. And I was like, oh, maybe not. Let me just complete all this. And I finished.
Okay, so
I
now,
finished this up.
so now,
Any thoughts, Andrew?
yeah, actually, okay, so the thing that kind of clicked with me, like, a little bit after the media, is like the ones that seem the most action oriented, like the solo, actually seems like the more, like, the least interesting of the classes. Like if you pick the ones that are the most straightforward in terms of, like, oh, this one's really good in combat, like, yeah, but based on how all these other classes seem to interact with the rest of the world, like, when will combat seems to be something that's, like, you probably would want to try to avoid, if anything.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like it might be inevitability, but it doesn't mean, like, you know, you shouldn't be, like, bloodthirsty by the same token. But, you know,
Right. It's not like D&D where like battles is a very reliable option. Here, like, people will die.
Yeah.
Like, it's very plausible. I agree. Originally when I first the first 5, I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Solo is the fighter, you know, the Netrunner is the wizard or whatever. Like, it makes sense. But you're right. Like, the ones that are a bit more like the Solo, even the Lawman, I think they're more niche. Like, they're really good at. You want to have them when battle eventually happens.
yeah, but they seem to be very situational.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
agree, which is the total opposite of D&D.
Yeah, I mean, and like, I can definitely tell there's a more narrative drive for stories, or for these games rather. Like just based off the abilities alone, where it's like you can definitely tell that, like, high stakes can be something as simple as, like, I'm going to lose my position in this job, or like, oh no, I got found out because I'm a fixer. Not so much, you know, we're all at 1 HP and we gotta escape the dungeon, kind of, you know. It like, I don't know.
Right. No, I hear you. Yeah.
It definitely opens up, like, new possibilities to me. Just glimpsing into these classes.
One thing I want to clarify. Everybody knows a fixer's a fixer.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, you did jobs for my enemy. Like, no, it in this world, at least for what I understand, it doesn't matter. Like, a fixer is a fixer. Like, they don't pick sides usually. They're just kind of like, it's a job is a job is a job. You know, just, what do you want to do?
Right.
So it's not like if you're with the criminals, you have to balance the corpos a little too much. A corporal might be like, yo, you gave the job to this guy and come after you. But for the most part, it is established that a fixer is just a neutral person who just
I mean,
things.
Mechanically, a fixer couldn't be a neutral person. But what's to stop a like a mob boss or something feeling like they got slighted because, like, no, I thought you were supposed to be my guy. You know, like something like that.
Fair. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and,
it depends on how you role play it. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, you know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, they're like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the narrative possibilities are so vast, you know, by comparison to what we or me, like what I'm used to, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would very much like to play like an actual campaign.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I mentioned earlier, for me, it's been more of like, as I read these, I'm like, oh wow, look, tools.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all of them, you know, except for maybe the solo, have very narrative-driven possibilities in their role abilities.
This, I
You
mean,
know?
this,
And hey, maybe once we get into combat, you know, like maybe we'll find out that, oh wow, now the solo is the guy you want to have in combat.
oh yeah, no, I would imagine the solo is the guy, but it's like, but then again, like how often? It's not like in D&D where it's like, oh, the combat's gonna happen because that's the only interesting part, you know? Like,
yeah. But man, the one that surprised me for me the most was probably the media and executives. I think 100%. I was like, wow, okay, I did not expect that.
Yeah, I can definitely seeing the media having some major pull. Yeah. It just definitely later on.
Maybe if there's a media and a rocker boy, they just don't get along because they're like, you know, complete opposite. Like that's so much like roleplay possibility there.
Yeah, and that also brings up another thing. Like, you know, just because you're in a group doesn't mean that you all have to be friends.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
It's a job, you know.
Yeah. And I think that would be another interesting thing that we try to do if we ever play this, where it's like, because you know, like how we play D&D, it's like, oh, we're all, you know, friends and stuff like that. That way we can get along and be like, no, dude, I cannot stand you, but I need the money that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Living the life of an executive is expensive, man.
Yeah, like literally the only reason why I'm working alongside you is because I respect your abilities. I do not respect you as a person.
Yeah. But yeah, Andrew, that was all the roles / classes. I mean, if you want to think about it that way. What do you guys think? What's your favorite? Have you played any of these guys? And if so, let us know in the comments. And if I miss anything, also let us know that, because I want somebody who cares enough about the stuff I say. What do you guys get at, Andrew? And I know.
Hey.
Oh,
You
all
think-
right. So
you think I like being held accountable for what I say now?
now let's talk about my favorite part of the podcast, my favorite segment.
Session
Highlights.
Yeah. You know, we can.
All
just-
right.
Okay.
No soundboard.
We have a soundboard.
No, I don't want it.
I'm just saying.
All right, Andrew. It's been it's been 2 weeks, right? Since we last.
No, we played last week.
I know it's been. I'm sorry, not
Oh.
since we last played. Since we last did an episode.
Yes.
so.
Yeah. Last
Alright.
episode we actually did not have session highlights because things happened.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we had quite a lot happened in the last two sessions.
Only one session happened, but it was pretty jam packed.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely was.
No, actually, no. We had 2 sessions because we had
The escape.
No, we had the escape, but before that, we had the Zardarok fight. The boss fight.
Wait, what?
The boss fight.
I thought that was but I thought that was.
No.
Oh man, my sense of time has
I know.
completely shifted.
I know. I it's Labor Day weekend, and yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
No. But we totally had the boss fight, and then then you guys had to escape the Dwargar.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, Andrew. What are your session highlights?
Definitely from the Zardarok Sunblot fight. It's got to be the called shot, where Robert's like, "Come on, natural 20," and it was a natural 20.
He did it like twice.
Yeah.
He called it. He was like, oh come on, werewolf. Oh no, werewolf. Direwolf. And then he rolled a fucking direwolf. I'm like, oh my god. By the way, MVP. that dire wolf was the real. If those Dorgars would have started attacking us, I think it would have gone pretty bad. Yeah. But that, and then he got two. It was his night. He got like 2 natural 20s. It was crazy. Like he was rolling hard.
2 natural 20s that, like I said, he called. He got the natural 20, which was the killing blow against Zardarok, and it was like a huge pop off from the group, and it was awesome. It was great.
My favorite part was when, because it got pretty hairy, man. It was like I was trying to stay away from everybody because I'm too squishy.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like a group of enemies, like a nice little tight group of enemies right in front of Misha, Chris's character, and he saw me doing the measurements, and he sends a gif. He sends a gif of what's his name, freaking from Superman.
Oh yeah, oh god, I know.
What's his? That scene from Superman when Kevin
Costner's Pa Kent. Yeah,
yeah. When he's like, has his hands like, don't save me, like. He was ready to sacrifice himself for that. And I threw a freaking fireball with like I enhanced it or whatever, empowered it, and took down like a bunch of people. And then after that, it was just me running around trying to get away from that big monster and getting the shit handed to me.
I mean that was a very dynamic fight. Just like fucking Mittens was throwing people off of like ledges and shit, and fucking Beery and Misha were like double teaming Zardarok, and then the Umber Hulk just slowly making his way over.
Dude, that fucking Umber Hulk! Oh my god! I was one time that he was coming at me, and I was like, I just went up to the tower or whatever the fuck that was, and I was like, oh, I'm safe over here. And he just walks into the wall to try to.
Yeah, and then Robert's like, oh yeah, I forgot they have a burrow speed. And the best part about it was that the Umber Hulk specifically has a trait for going into solid rocks. I'm like, that's not gonna save you.
Yeah, dude, I left that fight with 1 hit point.
but a small thing I really like is that the Umber Hulk confused Mittens, and Mittens tried to attack you but rolled a natural 1. So it's just like Mittens just making biscuits. Just to add to the confusion.
If somebody walked into that room, it would have been that gif from Community with a fire. It's like, what is happening?
Just all over the fucking place, man.
Oh god, it was great. And then the escape afterwards, because it starts cracking, and I was like, Andrew, is this how you introduce Lancer into the game? It's a mech. I'm like, well, kind of.
Actually, okay. So there was a lot of cool parts in the escape, but like one part that I don't know why, but one part that particularly stuck out to me was when Chris like crit on a Dwargar that was escaping, and they were all deaf, so they can't tell what's going on, and all of a sudden you just see this paladin just come out of nowhere and just blow up a fucking Dwargar.
Yeah, and then after that it was like the scene, like any scene from Scooby-Doo when they're going through the doors trying to find the exit.
Oh man,
it was taking so long that my character Octavio starts like saying goodbye to everybody. So in the middle of this hectic escape, Octavio's like, Beery, you pretend. Beery's like, shut up, Octavio.
I really wanted to say something because you guys were like, the exit's got to be over here. It's got to be this way. Like, we got to follow the Dwargar. And it just leads right back to the elevator room that already collapsed. And they're like, fuck.
That was fucking great. It was so hectic.
I'm just like, nope, I'm not gonna say it. Oh, and then you guys open up the vault, and it's like you guys see a bunch of gold. It's like, no, close it. We're closing real quick for Mittens.
Oh yeah.
There's fish in here.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, so much shit happened, and then we leveled up, yay!
Mm-hmm.
And then a big fucking metal dragon started making its way to town. Oh man, that scene with fucking what's the name of the orc in my stone? That was beautiful.
Oh,
I was like,
Rendar.
damn. Yeah, I can't say no to that. I know you're doing this to balance out the game, but damn it.
No, actually, I had that kind of plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, he just doesn't want me to use it. I get it.
No, actually, I think at this point you guys like really outpaced the war chief. You know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that was a beautiful send off. Because so to explain what happened, we were making our way out to
East Haven.
not East Haven, and then there was like a huge fight with like the orcs and what the fuck were they fighting?
Dwargar.
Right. And it was the chieftain's son down there, and the chieftain just like in my head, and he was just like, you know, I never got a chance to fight side by side with my son.
Mhm.
You grant me this. I'm like, damn it.
Chief Rendar, I choose you.
I casted the last charge. I was like, no. That was too good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and now we're just on top of towers staring down the dragon that's coming right at us.
I mean, it's just this next part's gonna
yeah, it's things are gonna happen.
I mean, I particularly like. I'm not saying I enjoyed it, but I felt like I appreciated the fact that when I was describing how the dragon was like blowing up good meat and stuff like that, like there was just like a general like oof through the group. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, good, they're attached. Like great, okay.
I was a little disconnected when all that was happening because I was trying to frantically create the NPC and the spell for my thing. So yeah, I kind of missed that. But yeah, because everyone was like, "What are you gonna say about it, Octavio?" I'm like, "Oh no, okay, bye."
Yeah, no, you were, you had to do your own thing. So that's
Yeah, as a player, I was disconnected, but my character would have been distracted.
right. But there's just like, oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
not the bees.
Sweet. All right. Well, that was today's episode. Andrew, you have anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it for me.
Sweet. Well, thank you everybody who's joined us today in our live stream. But this episode is going to be released on podcast platform, wherever you listen at, and also on YouTube with visuals. Well, you can see our faces.
Why?
But with that, make sure to follow us, like us, leave us a comment. You know, let us know what you think about Cyberpunk Red and the roles that we just went through. Also, if you want to see our playthrough live of Dungeons and Dragons, we play on Wednesdays. And I think starting tomorrow, we might be doing a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. So maybe, well, tomorrow, I mean, Mondays. It's probably going to be on Mondays, but we'll see. We're still trying to line that up. But with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy your holiday weekend. And as always, keep on gaming. I keep saying that, but this releases on Wednesdays. It's not really a holiday weekend anymore.
Yeah.
But with you guys, see you later. Bye.
Bye.